Hey, you. Yes, you. Do your Minecraft bridges look like this? Sad excuses of just wooden planks or slabs going across a simple body of water? Well, no need to fear. I'm Dino and welcome back to How to Actually Get Good at Building. This time, Bridges Edition. See, if your Minecraft bridges look like this, it's because of convenience. Well, mostly this single full-on block one is convenience, but if you're trying to use slabs, I know that you actually have a dream to make a nice looking bridge, and if you want to do a simple oak slab bridge, this is the design for you. See, it has like a nice little bit of curve, you have those supports from the oak logs. I tried it with stripped, trust me when I say that the difference in color of the straight up log is much preferred. You can do this with really any wood type, all you need is really any wood you have, and cobblestone. You could also replace the cobblestone with stone brick if you want to look a little cleaner, but I'm just here to provide you with a basic example of probably the easiest bridge to build in this video. So, this bridge has simple oak supports all the way down to the bottom of your little river. This is just a test river that I made with World Edit, just for the concept of showing you guys this video. Then you take your walls, have them go around. I topped this off with a slab, considering this is just a half block height jump that I have here, and using just the wall there, it wouldn't have really acted that much as a barrier. This one still doesn't fully act as a barrier, but it looks a lot nicer because it gives the outline of your bridge in the cobblestone that little bit of lift that you actually have from having a slab bridge like this. Then I just did these walls along the sides, topped off each of these wooden posts with a slab. You don't have to do that, or you can, and you can do any other material you want. You could use cobblestone here. I just choose to use oak because in my opinion it looks better as the capstone for these posts. I add a little button. You do not need the buttons there. I just think it adds a little bit of detail and also makes it so that the wooden post there isn't fully breaking up that line of stone that you're using. But once again, it's a personal preference thing. This is all up to you. It's your build. This is just a nice simple bridge and it looks a lot better than just having a string of plain slabs. If you're really 3, 2, 1. If you're really looking, though, to have a nice bridge, the thing you need to start with is campfires. Well, extinguished campfires. They have this nice little kind of like thatched woven pattern when you put them together. And you can put them together really any way you like. I personally like putting them facing this way. It's another thing that's all personal preference. No matter what, these are going to look amazing. But obviously, this doesn't look that great. It's just a straight flat line of campfires. Granted, it looks better than a straight line of slabs, but this is just the start. One great way of making your bridges look better without doing the little like hump type bridge is to add like a little roof and some outline. So what I did here is just a very simple bridge. You've seen me build it before when I was building bridges because TikTok and stuff like that. Same design. What you do is you, once again using cobblestone walls, you have just that straight line of campfires, but you use fence gates and this wall bit here as a support. So the walls here are support. It's cobblestone down to the base of the river, but then fence up above the water. And then these, because of how fence gates work in Minecraft, when you're placing them next to each other, you can have that little bump there, which creates just a little bit more shape and niceness to your bridge. It's thin, so it doesn't feel like it's a full block width obstructing or getting in the way of your site. It doesn't make the wall look weird. Walls are very difficult to use effectively in Minecraft as like actual walls. They're good for maybe adding some texture bits there because they can be just a fragment indent into a block, but that's besides the point. That's a different episode. Yeah, maybe that'll be the next how to get good at building. How to get good at building using walls. But yeah, this is just simple. Obviously, this is an easy to do little roof here with just slabs. See how it just kind of, it's like a staircase. It's like basically taking that bridge and then putting it on top of this bridge. That's really what it is. And so just adding this nice little roof just gives a little bit of flair. It makes it look nice. It makes it look complete, and it makes it look kind of more realistic than just a bunch of campfires across the lake or river or chasm, whatever you're building this bridge over. Bridges are multi-purpose. This is me dipping my toes into being more fancy with it. See how this one is simple, easy to do. This one is a little bit more fancy. I used a lot of mossy brick. You could do it with plain brick. But what I did here is I made these little supports on the bottom actually kind of look like actual bridge supports in real life. Because bridge supports tend to be thin towards the bottom, but then like branch out and round and curve. Like if you're looking at huge bridges in real life, it's a nice little fancy looking element, but it also provides realistic support structure. So that's what I did. I used the chiseled stone brick, mossy stone brick, and I just created that little rounded bit to make it look more realistic, but also a tad bit fancy. Because you know me, I'm not going to do anything by halves. When I'm building, this is what I would choose to build. I then, of course, did the similar strategies over here with these fence gates, but because I have this little stone brick lining underneath it, and then I placed these on top, and to give it, instead of just having the campfire floating there, because you would see it floating, what you do is you add these little trap doors. Spruce works best with campfires because of the similarity in color between the campfire wood and spruce planks or spruce trapdoors. What I did here though was a mix of dark oak and spruce because I wanted that darker, lush color for my main supports and the main wall, I guess, the main what do you call it? Handrail! It's a bridge handrail, that's what that's called. But I used that for the main handrail. It's me justifying my actions. You can do whatever you choose to do. This is my personal preference, and that's really all this series is, you know? It's me sharing my personal preference to at least hopefully help you guys get better at building. I also use these leaves to bring in the green from the mossy cobblestone and more of a connection thing. It just looks nicer than having a solid brick there. Because I've used so much mossy brick already, that would just cause the build to look more like samey, I guess the best way of putting it. It's just like a mound of stone, and just a lot of one block never looks good without texture in this game. If you think otherwise, leave. This series isn't for you. Why are you here if you're not actually going to take my advice and get good at building? But yeah, besides that, it breaks it up while keeping in the color palette and the more natural feel of this bridge. It's well known that I just prefer soul lanterns in general to normal lanterns, but you can use normal lanterns here. I just like the bluer light. It's really cool, and that is a pun intended because I myself am more of a fan of cool color palettes in this game. Just there's a lot of them, and it's a lot more cool grays than there is warm grays, I think, in this game. Well, that's once again my personal opinion. That also could be just how I build, so the cooler gray is more prevalent. But yeah, it's just a nice, still very simple bridge to make, a little more expensive because of the mossy brick, but overall, just a nice, simple design that you can put over small bodies of water. Very harmless, easy to make larger as well, it's just a matter of where you put your supports. So I think that if you're gonna build a bridge, go with this. But that's mostly for wooden floored bridges. This is a little bit of a taste into the stone bridges. So now we're gonna start doing some stone bridges. Once again, this one is a curve. I used andesite because andesite is the best block. This is just the shape of the bridge, and the reason that this is going out there more is because, as you'll see over there, it's just for the beginning of the bridge, because not all bridges are just existing over water. A lot of them tend to extend a bit into land, so that's what this example is. Also showing you how you can do that, because this is a bridge that could be done with either wood or with stone. I'm just using it for the stone example because I want to show you how you can add texture to your stone bridge floors, making it look more like a sidewalk. That's what this kind of design is. Like, if you're building a place that has a sidewalk looking thing with gray blocks and you want to continue that into a bridge without disrupting it with just all of a sudden wood planks, this is what you do. So this is just the shape. This is existing for the shape. And then what I did next is I added some texture. When you're working with andesite, what you want to use is polished andesite, cobblestone, and smooth stone. Because together those slabs and those blocks end up fitting, you know? They look like they belong. It looks like slightly more broken down andesite, less broken down andesite, like the polished pristine version, but it has those like edges that sometimes appear that could be cracks. Andesite looks like it's more cracked version of just smooth stone, and cobblestone just looks like a mess. So what you do is you mix those in together. You gotta make sure you don't use too much of one block. You have your base block, which I use as andesite, so that's obviously going to exist more, because if you try to do an equal quantity of every single block, it's gonna look more like a mess. So you wanna have like just small touches of texture. As you can see the stone from the bottom of this bridge. That's because you can't put two slabs of different types in the same block region, which is lame. Minecraft needs to get on that and fix it, but you can barely tell because this dark oak really does a good job of covering it up, but also at the same time, even underneath the bridge, it doesn't look that bad. It's still textured, it's still gray, it still fits what your actual bridge is. It's a stone bridge. What you do here, or at least what I did, I think this looks nice. Once again, you can use any type of wood you want. I just love dark oak personally. I think it's a great color. I think it goes good with gray tones, and it also fits, it goes really well with cool tones because I use soul lanterns. Once again, personal preference. It's up to your own discretion. This is just what I chose to do because it fits my personal favorite block palettes. So what I did here is I used a mix of slabs, stairs, and just the full-on logs to create a, like, wall, I guess. I don't know, wall, railing. There's so many different words that you can use to describe what it is, but I'm bad at words. But I'm good at building, so I'm trying to explain it to you in words. So I just kind of followed along the slab area with these logs, smoothing it out, like making the curves look nicer using planks. So obviously I wouldn't want just a plank here. I needed a place that I'd be able to actually set my lanterns, and it would have looked a little less smooth and a little more jagged had I just put a plank there instead of just having it go back down to the log. So this is just an example of what you can do for the railing on this. You could do something a little more complex. You could do something like what I've done over there and have supports going down, but this type of bridge doesn't necessarily require you to do any type of supports. I think this is more of, like I said, a sidewalk bridge or a garden bridge, you know, if you have like a path in a garden. Check out my garden episode, by the way. But if you have a path in a garden, I think this would be a really good way of putting it there. Like, if you're building a botanical garden or something in Minecraft, I would use this bridge, or my mossy stone brick bridge, just because I feel like they fit the vibe of a more naturey area. If you're just doing simple, basic Minecraft house, like I did in my starter home video, you'd want to use that first bridge that I showed you, because it would, the first or second actually, because that would fit into that type of style of building, the more simplistic, basic Minecraft, but still nice and clean and not just blocks, you know? But if you're trying to be more magical or fairy garden or actual garden, you want to go for the last two bridges that I have showed you, just because that's their purpose, you know? They're meant to be pretty bridges more than just functional bridges. But honestly, if you're going to be building, why not make it look good? Anyway, I hope you guys really did enjoy this video. At the point of recording this, I think I'm only 3 subscribers away from 600 on YouTube, and it would be really cool if I could hit that with this video. So if you really liked my video, like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you want me to do next, or for this series, or just for videos in general. See you guys next time. Bye!